The first question is the theology question about God. What is God? Does God exist? If so, is God personal or an impersonal life force, or doesn't God exist at all? That's theology. The second question is the anthropology question, the question about human beings. What are human beings? Are they special creations made for a relationship with God? Are they just the product of matter, chance and time in a godless universe, just clever monkeys? Are they just as insignificant as rocks and snails? Then the third question is the epistemology question. It's the question about how we know things. Can we know things through the scientific method, for example, through our five senses? Is that the only way we can know things? Or are there other means? For example, can we know things intuitively through meditation, for example? Or can we rely on revelation? If there is a God, does he somehow speak through history, through prophets, through scriptures, and so on? Then the fourth question is the question about value. What gives human beings significance, and how significant are they? Is it based upon the fact that they're made for a relationship with God, for example, as Christians would argue? Or are they just no more significant than inanimate matter, as atheists might say, and their value comes from their functional capacity, how much they can do in terms of consciousness and rationality and communication and so on. The next question is the question of ethics. How do we decide what's right and what's wrong? Is it on the basis of revelation and scripture? Is it about what our intuitions tell us? Is it purely arbitrary that each person decides for themselves? And then the sixth question is the question about afterlife. What happens after death? Is death the end? Or does it lead to some kind of ongoing conscious existence? And if so, is that a kind of disembodied existence of the soul? Or is it a reincarnation where we're born back into this life for a second chance? Or do we face judgment, as Christians, Muslims and Jews would believe, where we meet God and he sends us to one of two destinations? So there you've got the six questions of theology, of anthropology, epistemology, value, ethics and afterlife. But there's a seventh question that's crucially important. And that's the question, who is Jesus Christ? Was he just a myth made up? Was he just an ordinary man about whom stories were added? Was he a prophet, but no more than a prophet, as Muslims would believe? Was he some kind of enlightened guru who gives us insights into life that we can't find ourselves? Or was he actually God in the flesh, God made man, come into our world to call us back into a relationship with God, and to make that possible through his death and his resurrection? So there's a six, and with a seven good questions to be able to ask people and make a worldview diagnosis. Why is that important? Because it's incredibly important that we understand what people believe in order that we can then address what barriers there might be to Christian faith.